Hi everyone, hope you are doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, the UDA allies, including the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, told Kenyans that the only balance that they found at the Treasury was about 93.7 million shillings only. And because of that, they believe there was no any other money, meaning that the Treasury was dry, and therefore Ruto is starting from zero going forward. But surprisingly, the question that Kenyans are now asking today is that where did this William Ruto's government got about 3.55 billion shillings to import fertilizer subsidy in this country? That's the question Kenyans are asking here. Because then it also shows that these people are totally lying to the electorate rather than delivering what they promise. The treasury is not dry if they were able to get this sum of money. They are simply shifting blame to a man who was retired, President Uhuru Kenyatta, who cannot even come out to defend himself as of now. But anyway, that is not our topic today. I'm here to focus on the issue of fertilizer itself, because I remember on the first interview Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua had with Sophia Wanuna on KTN, there is a question Sophia Wanuna asked about the issue of fertilizer from Morocco. Because according to Sophia and the past experience farmers in Kenya have had with Morocco, it wasn't good. There was a time when Kenya got fertilizer from Morocco, which was a substandard fertilizer. And at the end of the day, you can tell what happened to the farmer. But the Gachagua went ahead to deny that there is nothing like getting fertilizer from Morocco, which is compromised, and then it end up costing the farmer and the expected harvest. So I wanted to listen to him shortly. Then after this, we want to understand really if there were issues with the Morocco fertilizer that was imported in this country about, is it 4 or 5 years back?
Run away from the fact that
the source of fertilizer is neither here nor there. What is important is that we get fertilizer.
Important, the source is,
what is important is that we get fertilizer at an affordable price. That is what the farmer wants to know. I don't think the farmer is really interested in international politics and trade politics around the world.
Why it's important, sir, if I may,
with
due respect. In 2017, if you remember, the Director of Public Prosecution took to court and brought charges of attempted murder against officers of KEBS, including the MD at the time. And this was over fertilizer, about 5.8 million kilograms coming from Morocco. Another time, it had been tested, failed the test. Second test was done, failed the test in terms of standard, being up to standard, but was still released to that farmer you're talking about. So it's not in vain to ask, it's because then the farmer will say, okay, if we're doing all of these things, then it's due diligence, because you're seeing even the kind of charges at the time that came up. So source is important, because then there's all of these processes, checks and balances for the same farmer to protect them. Because at the point that failed all of these standards, and hence the conversation, and whether are we going to jump onto something, but are we ensuring all of the checks have checked out in essence?
All goods and commodities that are coming to Mombasa or other points of entry are subjected to various tests by the various agencies, including KEBS. I have no information that has been ignored or not done. I am aware that the fertilizer has gone through the necessary and mandatory inspection and given a clean bill of health, and is good for our farmers.
Now, Sophia Wanuna was also trying to link the issue of secession that is happening in Morocco, because we have Sahrawi, which is trying to distance itself from Morocco and be an independent country. But we understand at one point President William Samoei Ruto messed up on the Twitter when he was trying to distance Kenya away from the issue of recognizing this Sahrawi country as a state. But then the issue was that, is it because the president of Morocco has appealed to President William Samoei Ruto that if he does that, then they will give him fertilizer on a cheaper price? That was also another question. But as a country, we have had problem before with the fertilizer from Morocco, because there was one time when the public DPP, Director of Public Prosecution, he went to an extent of arresting the Kenya Bureau of Standard manager and other SAMU officials for allowing importation of substandard fertilizer. Of course, it was coming from Morocco by a company known as OCP. According to them, they had checked this fertilizer 3 times. It failed the 3 tests. But the funny thing enough is that still after all these things and failing all the tests, still the fertilizer was released to the market, and the farmer went on using the fertilizer, yet it had failed the test. Watch this video shortly and we will continue.
On 22nd June 2018, Kenya Bureau of Standards Managing Director Charles Ongwae and 9 other senior officials were arrested and taken for questioning at the DCI over the importation of substandard fertilizers and circulation of fake import standardization marks. Of the 9, 3 are directors of Moroccan-owned firm OCP Kenya, which is a market leader of phosphates, with investigations revealing that KEBS officials had colluded with the 3 to allow substandard fertilizers that had been rejected. Karim Lofty, Marika Kirama and Eunice Adu, who are directors of OCP Kenya, were accused of colluding in the importation of substandard fertilizers weighing 5.85 million kilograms. And today, the firm, in a statement, has denied the claims, insisting that the said shipment had passed independent expert analysis performed by several internationally renowned inspection agencies. The firm states, and I quote, "In this vein, the new customized fertilizers introduced by OCP Kenya have been very successful. These micronutrient-enriched products have been adapted specifically to local soils and crops, following research and development efforts conducted in cooperation with Kenyan research laboratories. These new customized fertilizers have demonstrated their positive effect on farmers in terms of yield and competitiveness." End of quote. The statement contradicting a report by the Director of Public Prosecutions, Noordin Haji, that stated, and I quote, "The company appealed against the first testing, whereupon from the second testing, it failed to meet the standard again. That notwithstanding, the fertilizer was released into the market as opposed to destruction or reshipping to the country of origin." End of quote. Even as OCP Kenya in its statement warned of seeking legal redress against what they term as baseless and opportunistic accusations, the DPP has directed Director of Criminal Investigations George Kinoti to arrest the 3 directors who may be in the country. Furthermore, a notice has been issued against accused people who are outside the country as he embarks on the application of international warrants of arrest in order to commence the process of extradition. Mel Miendo, NTV.
Now, we are not saying that the fertilizer that has arrived in this country, because as well as speaking now, by the way, what you need to be aware is that, as I said at the beginning, about 3.55 billion shillings has been released to cushion farmer by bringing in the fertilizer. And as we're speaking now, already we have the fertilizer in this country. We have the new price for the fertilizer in this country. We have DAP, we have urea, and the other one, CN. It is already in this country to cushion the farmer. But the question we are trying to put here is that already we have had a bad reputation with some of the companies in Morocco which actually sold fertilizer to this country, which now ended up even harming the farmer and even as a country for lack of enough storage of food in this country. So we just want to look into that issue and what it can cost this country in case what happened 5 years back can be repeated this time around. But before we go deep into that, just a quick request. You might be watching this channel but not subscribed. So my humble request, please consider subscribing so that another time, once we release a video like this one, you will always get notified. Again, to all our returning subscribers and anyone who drop comment, I must say thank you so much for unconditional support. Again, I'm requesting you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend our videos to more viewers. Back to our discussion. Now, if a product was brought into this country and then it failed the standard test, but later, even after failing the standard test, still the product was released to the market, and the consumers use this product unknowingly. The question we ask here then is that, who is this powerful people in this country who allowed this product to be in the market even after failing the Kenya Bureau of Standard test? It failed the KEBS test. Who is this powerful person in this country who allowed the product in the market? That's the question. And that's why you see the DPP authorized the arrest of these KEBS managers and to be prosecuted in the court. If you follow, you'll find that the KEBS managers were just following instruction from someone. You'll find they are not the people behind this issue, but because there is a powerful person in the government who forced them to release this product to the market, despite even failing the standard test, they had to approve it in the market as if it had passed. So that means there were cartels in President Uhuru Kenyatta's government who are doing this business at expense of injuring the farmer. You bring in a product on a cheaper price, but you want to sell it at a higher price, and then even the same product does not meet the standard test. Then you end up even costing the farmer. At the end of the day, what happened? There was not enough harvest. The farmer ended up losing, and even the soil component ended up being destroyed. So what came later? We lacked food in this country. And because of that, the country had to allow the importation of maize. And that is how the issue of Brazil maize comes in. For those who remember, again, the product was rejected severally. Remember, the consignment was in the ocean for a long time before it was released to the market. So imagine, these people want to trade in every corner. You trade with the fake fertilizer, you get money. But again, you cause havoc so that there is no food in the country. Then again, you get another chance to import food in the country. Look at that. Okay, President William Ruto might have a good intention to cushion the farmer, but now you open a chance to cartels. Because in every government, you will have cartels. Even in this UDA government, there are cartels who are ready to do the business. And who are these people? The close allies who have worked with him, those people who have been contributing their money for campaign, and just making sure that all the logistics have been in place to help William Samoei Ruto win the election. So why back to Morocco? Even at a time when we had a problem with the fertilizer from Morocco. Remember, Morocco is one of the countries that is producing, that is highly in fertilizer business. The high producing fertilizer companies, the countries, Morocco is one of them. Morocco is one of the countries that is producing high fertilizers in the world. But beside this, there's also a substandard product from that country. So you are looking for cheap fertilizer. You give in huge money in billions of shillings, but again the cartels in the line, they want to bring in compromised fertilizer on a cheaper price to the farmer, and then it ends up destroying the product, and at the end game, you also get a chance to start importing maize and other products in this country. So I can tell you here, if William Ruto is not careful in his government, even after bringing in the subsidy fertilizer on a very costly price that is costing the government here, because 3.5 billion is not a small money, this is huge money here. It might also end up hammering the farmer. And again, if it will hammer the farmer on the ground, it will also cost the country, because at the end of the day, we are not going to have the maize or the food in this country. And again, it will end up now costing the country to go to an extent of importing. Then again, you'll have to cushion the mwananchi who has been buying the product at a higher price. Again, another subsidy for the maize will be here with us. So the same game will continue ever and ever again and again. Because this is what we have gone through. What will stop us from going through this? Because now you are also going to the same country where we had a problem. I don't know what you think about this, but that's my view as far as this issue is concerned. Let us meet in the comment section and see you in our next video.